Hey guys, kkfurukawa here, and in this video, I'm going to do a review of Pyks, a product by the folks over at Voomly that's currently available for a one-time price. I'm going to take you guys inside of the Pyks app. I'm going to show you how it works, and that way you can decide for yourself whether or not you want to pick it up. And if you do, I'll tell you where you guys can go to grab it for a low one-time price. So if you're ready, let's dive right in. If it's your first time here, click that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on content like this. And if you're looking to kickstart your affiliate marketing business, then I invite you to click on the link below to check out some free training that will get you started in 30 minutes or less. So what is Pyks? Well, Pyks is a new software that makes it easy to create these 2D and 3D e-covers for your ebooks, video courses, lead magnets, software products, supplements, and more. And I stumbled upon this product while I was going through my Facebook feed, and I thought, what the heck, right? I'll pick it up, I'll give you guys a review, and let you decide if it's something that you guys want to grab for yourself. And I'm going to show you where you can get it for a one-time price. Now let's go ahead. I'm going to open up the Pyks app, and I'm going to show you how it works. When you launch Pyks, you're going to be presented with your recent projects. Now, as you can see here, I've been working on a couple of projects because I'm trying to learn how Pyks works. Speaking of which, if you buy any type of new product, any type of software, there's always going to be a learning curve. So please be patient as you go through learning how to use Pyks. It is simple to use, but I'm telling you, simple does not necessarily mean easy. There's going to be some subtle nuances that you need to understand in order to use Pyks effectively. Now, in order to start a new project, you're going to come up here and you're going to click on New. This is where you're going to be presented with two options, an e-cover or a custom image. We're going to stick with the e-cover and we're going to create. And from here, you're being asked to select an e-cover type. Now on here, on the left side here, they have a filter and you can filter down to bags. So you can see all different bag options here. There's binders, there's books. Now the books is what we're going to be using for our example here. There's boxes, there's brochures, containers, discs and cases, gadgets, magazines, screens, and stationery. So you can see there's multiple use cases for Pyks. But in our example, we're going to stick with books because I'm an affiliate marketer and I want to give away a lead magnet. And from here, you can scan through the different types of e-covers and choose one that you like. In this case, I'm just going to choose a very simple one right here. And now we're going to be presented with templates. You can see right here, you can filter down by various categories. So depending on the category that you're in, there's going to be a template that is best suited for that particular category. But one thing that you need to keep in mind is that you can edit any part of this entire template that you're presented with. So if you like a particular layout and you feel like if I just change the picture and I change the wording, it's going to look really good, then go for it. You're not limited to your particular category. Now they're just giving you suggestions, but you can use any of these for any type of category. So just keep that in mind. It's a little tip for you. For our example, either we're going to use e-business, e-marketing, or computers and internet. Let's just choose computers and internet. And from here, let's go with this blogging cover. So I'm going to select that blogging cover template and it's going to load their builder. And now here, I want to just kind of go over the various functions that you're going to be presented with. First of all, this is the two-dimensional image of the front cover. You can see right here, front is selected. If we select the back cover, this is what the back cover looks like. They also have this 3D preview feature, which is really awesome. When we select this, what it's going to do is going to create a 3D rendering of your e-cover. So if I want to move this around, all I have to do is take my mouse, I just click and hold it and I drag my mouse all over the place and I can move the book around and see what it looks like in 3 dimensions. Now, what I really like is, as you can see, when I move the cover up and down, you can see that there's a highlight, like a spotlight that keeps moving around. This really gives it that professional look. And this is the kind of stuff that you want when you want to level up your marketing. And I really like this feature. It looks so realistic, but this is the 3D preview feature. Now, if you want to edit any part of these covers, we have to go either into the front or back of it. And from here, this is where you're going to be presented with options. So this is a tool bar right here. This is the move tool right here. So I can move things using this. I just drag and move things around. There's an image library. So Pyks, they hook into the Pixabay API, and this is where you'll be able to get these royalty-free images that you can use for your e-covers. Now, if you have your own images, obviously you can upload those and use those as well. There's an image adjustment feature right here, so you can adjust the brightness, the contrast, saturation, and hue. There's also some filters that you can choose from. There is a select tool, drawing tools. There is text, so you can add in different text, and you can even have effects for those texts as well. So you can see the level of customization that you can have for your ebooks. There's an eraser tool. There's also a color replacement tool. You can resize images, and this is your layers. Now, these layers all correspond to the various elements of this cover. So when I select background, you can see it selects this entire area, and that's the background. When I select laptop, this is the image. Now, if I were to hide it, the image disappears. I can show it, I can delete it, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through and just do some simple edits so you can see how simple it is to use Pyks. So first of all, what we want to do is, let's say we want to change the name. So I want to change it, and I want to add in my name. And you can also change anything down here. So we're going to just change this to CEO and founder of Blog World for all intents and purposes. Now, if you want to change the size of the font, just highlight it here, and you can change the size of the font. So I'm going to just drag in, you can just drag the slider here and make it as large as you want to. And you can change the style of the font. I'm just going to leave everything as is. You can play around with the fonts. But as I had mentioned earlier, again, you got to learn all the little subtle nuances of how to use this. That it is simple, but it's not easy. But they really do make it accessible for everyone to create these really good looking e-covers. Now I'm going to leave these elements here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch out the photo. So let's say you have a different photo that you want to use that you don't like this. Go back to your layers, and here is the photo of the person on laptop. Now you need to understand that these images or these elements are placed in specific order for a reason. So if you move this laptop, let's say, and you move it above the white light, you can see that the image of this person's legs is very visible. So they added in this white light here to really block that out. So if I drag it back down, you're going to see that disappears. So you're going to want to follow their lead when it comes to putting together these e-covers, and maybe change out some of the different elements like the picture or the text in the beginning. And as you get more experience, then you can start filling around and start getting way more creative. But in this case, what I want to do is I'm just going to hide it. And then I'm going to look for another picture of someone maybe typing on a laptop. So I'm going to go to their image library here, and I'm going to type in, let's type in blogging. See if we can find anybody typing on their computer. So I see one right here. Someone is on their laptop. So we're going to select this image. So I clicked it and it popped it in there. And this is where I want to expand this image. So I want this image to go all the way to the bottom because that's how the other image was. And I want to replicate that. So I'm going to just go here and I'm going to select one of the corners. I'm just going to drag it. I want to drag it until it reaches the bottom there and it's snapped into place. I'm going to just put this right in here. And that looks good. Maybe go a little bit more here. Show the computer. And that is where I'm going to leave it. I'm going to go back to layers here because right now this image is blocking the entire e-cover. I need it to go to the proper locations. You can see right here, here's where the laptop was. So I'm going to go and I'm going to drag and I'm going to drop this right here. And as you can see, now this white light covers up the bottom. So now you can see the title of my ebook. You can see all the various elements here. And that's how simple it is. It's real drag and drop feature. And once you get used to using this software, Pyks, it becomes very easy to put together really good looking e-covers. Now, I'm going to just leave the back the way that it is. Obviously, if I want to add in an image or a logo, I can do that as well. But let's check out the 3D preview. So this is the 3D preview of my book or my lead magnet that I'm giving away. So you can see how nice this looks. And depending on what angle that I like, let's say I like this angle right here, I can export this photo or this image right here. And what it's going to do is it's going to download it in a PNG format. Now, obviously what you want to do before you do anything is save it. So I'm just going to save it right here. And I'm just going to call this blogging cover. And I'm going to save it. And then that way, if I want to open it up and edit it even further at a later date, I can do that. Now, what I want to do is I'm just going to export this. And I'm going to export this to my desktop. I'm going to call this blogging eCover 1. I'm going to save that. I'm going to pause this video and then I'm going to show you what the final image looks like. All right, so I've opened up our blogging eCover 1 PNG. As you can tell, it looks exactly like the image that we created at the exact same angle. So what you can do with this is, because the image background is transparent, you can use this on your website, you can use it on a landing page. The possibilities are limitless, but you can see how simple it is to create these e-covers. When you follow their templates and you follow the way that they lay things out, it makes it very simple. If all you got to do is just change some of the text, change some of the images. If you have your own copy, that's something that you definitely want to add in there to really enhance the look of your e-cover. Now, one thing that I wanted to show you guys too is how you create these other images. So one of the other features that they have is the ability for you to create a custom image. So you can create an image and you can create it based off a specific width and height. You can actually lock it in there. So if you adjust something, if say we go to 2400, you can see how it just locks it in there based off of the ratio. So it's totally up to you how you customize this. Now, this is where it gets a little bit more advanced, I would say. And this is where they tout having a image editor that is easier to use than Photoshop. And as you guys know, if you've ever used Photoshop, it can be quite overwhelming in terms of the features and functionalities. And so Pyks is touting themselves as a much more simpler alternative to Photoshop. So let's go ahead and just see how this works. We're going to create a custom image and we're going to discard the changes we made to the last image. And we're going to start fresh here. So you can see here, this is our canvas. It is 2400 by 2400 pixels. And this is where you're able to create your own image. This is a little bit more advanced, as I was saying, because now you have to take into account your design skills. This is where you're going to have to learn how to really use this. So for those of you who are perhaps using Photoshop and you don't use all of the features, this might be a viable alternative for you. Now, I'm not a Photoshop expert, so I'm not going to attempt to create some kind of masterpiece here, but the same tools that were available when you were editing the e-cover are also available in this custom image editor. So that is how simple it is to use Pyks. Now, if you're a beginner, obviously sticking with the pre-made e-covers and using those templates is where it's at. Until you can get more advanced and get more comfortable using Pyks, that's where I would recommend most of you guys stick to. So let's now go ahead and talk about the different pricing options for Pyks. Normally, Pyks costs $39 per month for the standard plan or $69 per month for the enterprise plan. If you pay annually, that drops the cost down to $20 per month for the standard plan and $40 per month for the annual plan. And you can see down here the differences between the standard and the enterprise plan in terms of the design templates, the 3D models, the fonts, the text effects, the images, the backgrounds, and most importantly, the commercial rights. So I had mentioned earlier that for some of you, you might turn this into a side hustle where you're creating these e-covers for people and charging a fee for them. Well, in order to do that, you need to be on the enterprise plan. Now, I had mentioned that you can get this for a one-time price. Now, I'm going to leave a link to their sales page. you can go to this sales page and you can pick up the standard version of Pyks for $67 one time. No annual fees, no monthly fees, just $67 one time. But again, you're going to be limited in terms of some of the features that you have access to, especially if you want commercial rights to be able to sell your creations for a fee. If that's the case, they have an upsell to their enterprise plan for a one-time fee of $97. So $67 gets you in the door with the standard plan. If you're going to plan on using Pyks just for your own business, that's totally fine. You can do it for $67. However, if you're thinking about starting up a side hustle where you're going to be creating these e-covers for other people, then you're definitely going to want to sign up for the $97 upsell to the enterprise plan. So in total, if you decide to go with the enterprise plan, you're going to be spending $164. But again, like I said, if you're only going to be using Pyks for your own personal business, then $67 gets you in on the standard plan. So with that, let me give you my final thoughts about Pyks. So what's my final opinion on Pyks? Well, I feel that it's very simple to use. Now, simple doesn't mean that it's easy, obviously, and everyone's skill level is different. But if you're creating a lot of e-covers, then this is a worthwhile investment. Obviously, you're going to have to invest the time in learning how to use it. But for $67, this is a huge cost savings, especially if you're outsourcing this task and you're spending a lot of money creating all these e-covers. Now, if you want to turn this into a side hustle, obviously, you're going to have to upgrade to the enterprise plan, which is an extra $97. So in total, you'll be spending $164. But again, I feel that if you plan on using this software, then it's a worthwhile investment. So I hope you guys found this review to be helpful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Lastly, don't forget, if you are looking to kickstart your affiliate marketing business, then click on the link below to check out some free training that will get you started in 30 minutes or less. This is Ken Furukawa from kenfurukawa.com, and I'll see you in my next video.